Drinking alcohol, smoking, and drug use are harmful to health.
The radio tower stood like a skeletal finger against the bruised sky, its red beacon pulsing faintly in the fog. It was the only landmark for miles in the desolate stretch of Blackthorn County, a place where the pines grew gnarled and the ground seemed to swallow sound. Clara had driven 3 hours from the city to reach it, her old hatchback rattling over the cracked asphalt of Route 17. The job was simple: check the tower's equipment, replace a faulty relay, and get out. The station manager had warned her about the isolation, the spotty cell service, but he hadn't mentioned the way the air felt wrong, heavy, like it was pressing secrets into her skin. She parked at the base of the tower, a 200-foot lattice of rusted steel that creaked in the wind. The fog was thicker now, curling around the pines like ghostly fingers. Clara grabbed her toolbox and flashlight, her breath visible in the October chill. The station's logbook, tucked under her arm, listed the last maintenance visit as 6 months ago. The tech, a guy named Harris, had scrawled a single note: "Signals clean, don't stay after dark." Clara snorted. Superstition was for small-town locals, not her. She'd fixed dozens of towers like this, remote, creepy, but harmless. Still, as she climbed the tower's ladder, the rungs cold under her gloves, she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The fog muffled everything, even the crunch of her boots on the gravel below. Halfway up, she paused, her flashlight beam cutting through the mist. The forest was silent, no birds, no wind, just the faint hum of the tower's signal. At the top, the equipment box was bolted to a platform, its metal surface slick with condensation. Clara set to work, unscrewing the panel and checking the wiring. The relay was fried, just as the manager had said, its circuits blackened like they'd been struck by lightning. She swapped it out, her fingers numb from the cold, and tested the signal. The radio in her pack crackled to life, spitting static before settling into a low, steady hum. Done. She glanced at her watch. 4:47 p.m. The sun was already dipping below the trees, painting the fog orange. As she packed her tools, the radio hissed again. Not static this time, but a voice, low, garbled, like it was underwater. "Help. Trapped." Clara froze, her hand hovering over the dial. She turned it, expecting the signal to clear, but the voice persisted, faint and desperate. "They're here. Don't let them." The words dissolved into static, then silence. She checked the frequency, 80E8.3 FM, the station's broadcast. But this wasn't a scheduled program. The station played classic rock, not whatever this was. Clara's stomach twisted. She clicked the radio off, then on again. Nothing but static now. Probably a prank, she told herself, or interference from another signal. Towers like this could pick up weird stuff. CB radios, ham operators, even old broadcasts bouncing off the atmosphere. She zipped her pack and started down the ladder, faster than she'd climbed up. The fog was thicker now, swallowing the base of the tower. Her car was a faint shadow below, barely visible. Halfway down, she heard it again, not from the radio, but from the air itself. A whisper, faint and guttural, like someone breathing words into her ear. "Stay." She whipped around, nearly losing her grip on the ladder. The platform above was empty, the equipment box sealed tight. Her flashlight beam darted through the fog, catching nothing but steel and mist. Her heart hammered. "Hello?" she called, her voice flat against the silence. No answer, just the creak of the tower and that oppressive, watching quiet. Back at her car, Clara locked the doors and tried her phone. No bars. Of course. She tossed the radio onto the passenger seat, its antenna bent from years of use. She'd report the weird signal to the manager and let him deal with it. The engine sputtered, then roared to life, and she pulled onto Route 17, the tower's red beacon fading in her rearview mirror. The fog clung to the road, forcing her to crawl at 20 miles an hour. She flicked on the car radio for company, tuning to 88.3. Static. Then the voice again, clearer now. "You can't leave. They see you." Clara slammed the off button, her hands shaking. The road stretched ahead, empty and endless, flanked by pines that loomed like sentinels. She pressed the gas, the car lurching through the fog. The whispers came again, not from the radio, but from the back seat, soft and insistent. "Closer. They're closer," she screamed, swerving, and checked the rearview mirror. Nothing. The seat was empty, her toolbox and jacket the only things back there. She floored it, the speedometer climbing to 50, then 60. The fog parted just enough to reveal a curve in the road, and she yanked the wheel, tires screeching. The car fishtailed, then steadied. Her breath came in gasps, her knuckles white on the wheel. She needed to get to the highway, to civilization, to anywhere but here. The whispers grew louder, overlapping now, a chorus of voices that weren't human, weren't right. "You brought them. You woke them." Clara's eyes darted to the radio. It was off, but the dial glowed faintly, as if lit from within. She reached for it, desperate to smash it, when the engine coughed and died. The car coasted to a stop, the silence deafening. She turned the key, nothing. The battery was dead, the dashboard dark, the fog pressed against the windows, so thick she couldn't see the road anymore. And then, in the rearview mirror, she saw it. A shape, vague and humanoid, stood just beyond the car's rear bumper. It was tall, too tall. Its limbs bent at wrong angles, like a marionette with cut strings. The fog swirled around it, hiding its face, but she felt its eyes, unseen, unblinking, boring into her. Clara fumbled for her flashlight, her hands trembling so badly, she dropped it. The shape didn't move, didn't approach, but the whispers grew frantic, filling the car. "They know your name. Clara. Clara." She screamed again, locking the doors, though she knew it was pointless. The shape shifted, its outline blurring as if it were dissolving into the fog. Then another appeared beside it, and another, their forms flickering like bad reception. The radio crackled on its own, the dial spinning wildly. A new voice cut through, calm and cold. "You shouldn't have fixed the signal." Clara grabbed her toolbox, the only weapon she had, and kicked the door open. The fog swallowed her as she ran, her boots pounding the asphalt. The whispers followed, not behind her, but everywhere, in her head, her bones. She didn't know where she was running, away from the car, the tower, the shapes. The road seemed to twist, looping back on itself, the pines closing in. Her flashlight beam caught glimpses of movement, a hand reaching from the fog, a face with no eyes, a mouth that stretched too wide. She stumbled, her ankle twisting on a root. The flashlight rolled away, its beam illuminating a figure standing 10 feet ahead. It was Harris, the tech from the logbook, his face pale, his eyes black pits. "You fixed it," he said, his voice echoing with the whispers. "You let them through." His mouth opened wider, splitting his face in half, and the fog poured out of it, thick and alive. Clara scrambled to her feet, running blind now, the fog choking her, the whispers deafening. She didn't see the tower until she crashed into it, the steel rattling under her weight. The ladder was there, slick with dew, and she climbed, not knowing why. only that she had to get higher, away from the shapes below. At the top, the equipment box was open, its wires pulsing with a sickly green light. The radio signal wasn't a signal anymore. It was a doorway, and something was coming through. She smashed the box with her wrench, sparks flying, the hum dying. The whispers stopped, the fog thinning just enough to reveal the road below. Her car was gone. The shapes were gone. But the tower creaked, and she felt it, the weight of their gaze, waiting, patient. Clara sank to the platform, clutching the wrench, knowing she hadn't stopped them. She'd only delayed them.